Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Iskandar and today we're going to be doing a review on the first generation Apple Pencil. So let's get right into it. So firstly, this is the Apple Pencil. It's a white cylindrical, almost perfectly cylindrical pencil, a small metal band at the back and here, an end cap containing its lightning charger, and a tip made of rubber which you can actually remove. So yeah. Okay, that's Apple Pencil. To get it to work, you have to unplug the end cap, and then you plug it into your iPad. It only works on the iPad and the iPad Air, I think, and only the few recent generations. But you plug it in, and a small dialog box will come out asking you if you want to pair with the Apple Pencil or not. And if you click pair, and you're done. Basically, you can start using it. So the main advantages I find for this pencil is, one, it's one of the cheaper styluses that actually has a variable pressure sensor at the end that actually tells the iPad how much pressure you're applying. So, for example, if you were to draw like a line on an app that supports it, with a brush that supports it, depending on how hard you press, it will change the dimensions or the thickness or the opacity of the line depending on the brush. So I find this a really useful tool, especially when you're doing art or you're trying to write naturally, because it makes your handwriting look a lot better than normal, and it makes your art, of course, look really beautiful, really natural. So yeah. Secondly, what I find the Apple Pencil has removable, replaceable tips. I believe the pencil itself comes with two tips, one to use and one to keep as a spare, and the replacement tips are available, sold in sets of 4, I believe. I'm not sure, but whatever it is these tips are pretty hard wearing by themselves, but if they do get worn out, then it's pretty easy to replace them. You just unscrew them and put in a new one. The reason I find this really good is that especially if you're using, say, a normal stylus, once a tip breaks, generally there's no way for you to replace it or to fix it. There's no way to replace it, which means that you have to go and get an entirely new stylus, which kind of sucks because it's pretty. I mean, some of them can be pretty cheap, but it's still buying a new stylus. Anyways, so other than that, I think this Apple Pencil has some really good support in the iOS system. For example, the iPad itself supports it natively in most of its apps. For example, markup in files and in photos, as well as taking notes in the Notes app. Also, there's quite a lot of apps on the App Store that actually really support this pretty well. For example, examples I can think of off the top of my head are like Procreate, which is pretty good, and then there's Ibis Pro X, which is not bad either. Both of them are good apps that really take advantage of this pencil's features. When it comes to everything, I guess everything has downsides, and this Apple Pencil is no different. Chief among the downsides I find is the awkward charging position, because this thing sticks out straight and it is rigid, which means no moving. There's no wire inside that you can pull out and plug in. So if you're going to charge this with on your iPad, which is generally what you're going to be doing, it's really awkward because it sticks right out the side of your iPad dangerously. So it's fine if you're taking care of it, but if you're going to leave it around to charge, that's pretty dangerous, because someone might just walk into it. Then probably depending on the angle, they probably break this connector. Maybe even, worst case, damage your iPad, which is really not ideal. The other option, of course, is to use, one of these, which is the charger that comes, which is the adapter that comes with the pencil. So you plug this in, and you plug the normal lightning cable on the other end, and you can start charging. I find it a pretty good concept, but it gets really awkward because you have to cart this around. This is really easy to lose. I've lost like 2 of them already. So yeah. My second major grievance with this pencil, the Apple Pencil, is that it is made of plastic and it's entirely round. Not sure if you can see this. Yeah, see, it's entirely round. So it's also made of hard, slippery plastic. So if your hands get even a bit sweaty or a bit wet while you're working, it tends to slip a lot, especially considering it's a pretty heavy stylus, and it can get awkward if you're working with sweaty hands or in a hot environment, or if your hands wet for some reason, for whatever reason, I guess. But yeah, it's not too bad if you're expecting it, and you can definitely get used to it, but it's still not it's still a pretty big disadvantage in my opinion. So yeah, speaking of my opinion, this personally, I think this pencil was a great investment for me because one, I'm a student, I don't have too much money, so it's cheap for it's pretty cheap for a pressure sensing stylus. Secondly, it's not bad. That's all I can say. It's good, but it's not the best. If you're a digital artist, or like if you want to get into digital art and you're looking for a stylus, this is probably a good place to start since it's multi-purpose. It's good for art, but then you can also use it for like day-to-day stuff like taking notes or writing markup or whatever. But I think if you're not a beginner, or if you have the money to spare, you should probably get a better stylus. For example, a Wacom or a Logitech one. But on the whole, it's not a bad deal, personally. So my recommendation is that if you probably should get this if you are one, someone who's trying to get into digital art, or two, someone who tends to use their iPad on the go a lot and you tend to write on it. For example, if you're a university student, or like and you want to say take down written notes without having to cut around a bunch of stationery and notebooks. So yeah, that's my opinion on the Apple Pencil. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, and drop a comment. If you disagree or disagree with whatever I said, I'd love to hear what you think. Yeah, and so see you. Bye.